Mustafa Kamal. The war was over. Throughout the entire Near and Middle East, and the armies of the democracies had been hailed not so much as conquerors but as deliverers. The Turks themselves were only too glad to be able to lay down arms after almost continuous fighting since 1911. A government formed from the old liberals was in power in Istanbul. Its members and other Padshah himself alike eager to collaborate to the armistice and cooperation with the occupying forces of the conquerors at Istanbul. The old British embassy was now the British High Commission, supported by the military and the naval detachments. Allied officers were supervising the police and the ports, and the normal machinery of the government was practically suspended by the orders and suggestion from the allies. At this time, far away in eastern Anatolia, one Kazim Karabekir, with some undefeated remnants of the Ottoman army, began to abstract the Allied control. Was apparent that the Turks were steadily growing bolder. Even in the streets of Anatolia towns, their bearing changed. This caused consternation not only among the allies but in Istanbul itself. Someone must someone must go as the representative of the Badshah and deal with the situation on the spot. A strong, capable soldier was wanted. Every indication seemed to point to one man as being suitable for the work, and Mustafa Kamal was the man. At first, the British High Commissioner demurred, but these objections were for once overruled. For the east coast of Anatolia, as Governor General of Eastern Provinces, scarcely had the small steamer bearing Mustafa Kamal entered the Black Sea, then the authorities of Istanbul became suspicious of his intentions and issued orders for the ship to be intercepted, but it was too late. The very same day, it became clear beyond all doubt that the Allies had condemned the Ottoman Empire to be patriotic to the very walls of Istanbul. On the 15th of May, the admiral of the British Mediterranean fleet informed the Ottoman governor of Izmir that this great seaport and the rich province of the Aegean were to be occupied by the Greeks. The Ottoman troops were hurriedly withdrawn into barracks, and the Greek metropolitan the cross as the first Greek soldiers dis- disembarked. To all the Turkish patriots, these events meant that there was only one policy to be pursued. Even those most friendly to the Allies were infuriated by the foreign occupation to the richest and most essential Turkish of their provinces. Turkish patriotism was no longer vague and undecided, it was a flame burning in the hearts of men and women of all classes, a flame of indignation, not of hatred. Even during cruel wars, the Turks and the Greeks never hated each other, and among the Greeks there was little enthusiasm for the Anatolian adventure. A magnificent Greek royalist officer, Ion Metakes protested strongly of his government, but the invasion continued. In a heavy storm, Mustafa Kamal Samal ship staggered toward the landing stage at Samsun on the coast of Anatolia. At 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 Emesa he met Ali Fouad, the commander of a small army corps centered on Anarcha, and at a secret meeting of the patriots he sketched out his plan of resistance. First of all, guerrilla bands must hold up the creeks and covered by these irregulars. The patriots must build up the national army, but without any help from the Mehmed IV or anyone at Istanbul, as the Sultan and the central government are in enemy hands. We must set up some temporary government in Anatolia. He continued. A congress of delegates to represent the real free Turkey should be called as quickly as possible. Meanwhile, Mustafa Kemal set out to tour the village, preaching resistance, and in every place appointing representatives to form centers of patriotic revolt. Yet even the energy and personality of Mustafa Kemal would not have been so effectively had not news arrived that the Greeks were advancing. Everywhere the local Turks evolved that death was preferable to rule by Greeks. Moreover, the allies who had made these plans were far away, while near at hand was an undisbanded Turkish army corps at Diyarbakir. Men came crowding back to the ranks with guns and ammunition raided from the Allied arms drums.